All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here once again at the beautiful Expo City, COP28. This is Trending Echoes, brought to you by Trends Research and Advisory. I'm your host, Omar. Very excited about our next guest, who is the Senior Director of Atlantic Council Turkey Programs. We are joined here at the studio by Defne Arslan. Welcome to the studio.
Hi, Omar. Nice to be here. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure. Very excited to talk to you about quite a few things. Let's start with your thoughts currently on COP28, but then I want to talk about some of the initiatives that you guys have in place, especially Turkey's progress when it comes to sustainability. So let's talk about COP28. What are your expectations? We only have a few days left. What would you like to see? How would you like to see COP28 conclude itself?
First of all, please let me to congratulate, the UAE and the whole government and all the agencies, including Trends, involved in this COP28, which has been a success so far. It was very difficult to pull together. As you all know, before this was, being happening, there was a lot of criticism as well. How come a hydrocarbon country can host a COP event? Sure. Actually, I think UAE proved that this is a wrong expectation, and it has been great, especially with also their commitment that they have, given during the COP to, just supporting the energy transition, in the region. So it has been a great commitment by UAE and for the region, for the globe.
Now, Turkey, it's not a secret, they've been quite progressive when it comes to sustainability, dealing with climate change, lots of initiatives in place. There is also a lot happening between Turkey and the GCC. Tell us a little bit more about what's taken place and what can we expect?
Actually, it is very encouraging that, just after a long time of, I don't want to put in use the word tension, but, misunderstanding between the region and Turkey, just in many fields, especially in politics field. It is great that the region and Turkey is coming together on a good cause, which is clean energy and energy transition. And UAE already, announced a great commitment to invest in Turkey and Turkish energy sector. I think it will be a great, way to cooperate. And today we had a great event together with Trends Advisory, and we produced a report together on this, how Turkey and GCC can cooperate together in energy transition. So this is what we discussed at our panel at the COP today, which I think is a starting point for us, not only as, first of all, as an American, representative of the American think tank. I'm very proud that we are also supporting this process for the GCC and Turkey, because both GCC and also Turkey is very important for the U.S. investment and U.S. policy in the region as well.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about when can we see things actually happening? We know there's a lot of talks, right? Talks can always take place. But when can we expect some sort of initiative to actually take place? And if so, what might they be? I know you guys had a full discussion about it today, but what are some of these initiatives that the GCC and Turkey can come together on?
GCC has money, Turkey doesn't have money. So the money will come from GCC and the investment will be in Turkey because it's a natural hub for the region, for Europe, and Europe needs energy. And also Europe also needs energy security and diversify itself away from Russia. So this is the main goal. And I think GCC has a huge way to play there, and also this can be not only, I also see, apart from all the renewables, and I still think that gas still can play a big role here. Mm-hmm. And today we discussed, how hydrogen can be used, clean hydrogen can be used, transmitted also to Europe through Turkey, and renewable, solar, in the renewables, both solar and wind, sectors. How, both countries can, just work together, how, GCC can invest, in Turkey. At the end of the day, of course they are investing so that they can profit out of it. This is pure business. Sure. And there's a potential there, great business ethic, great private sector in Turkey, and, and there will be a technology combined. We also today discussed how the region and Turkey can work together to advance the technology. Maybe there will be some research will be held together, or techno hubs will be built together. So there's a huge potential, and this is just the beginning. Okay, absolutely. And it will take time, a bit time.
Understood.
Yeah.
Now, you just mentioned business. I want to tap a little bit into your expertise as a business person, as an economist. And this is something that has been discussed, I'm sure, quite a lot. But I want to get your thoughts on how can we get a lot of the investors, global entities, big brand names, to actually start shifting from being so invested in fossil fuels to actually shifting more towards investing in alternative energy sources. How do you think that could actually happen?
Actually, this is already happening. First of all, it is not new.
Is it happening enough?
Not yet, but
Okay.
it will happen more because eventually it has to happen more. This started with, of course, the first, COP that was held in Paris, which all started there. And after that, just with all the IFIs, international finance institutions like the World Bank, IFC, and EBRD, they are not financing any fossil fuel anymore. Just to give an example, I was part of the team when, just the southern corridor was built, which is passing through Turkey, and which start, bringing the Caspian gas to Europe, just to diversify the energy resources of Europe away from Russia. So it was passing through Turkey. At that time, we were calling it Nabucco, and then now after that, it was named TANAP. So what I'm saying, at that time, there was a big commitment of the EBRD and other financial institutions to this pipeline. Right now, no IFIs are, financing any pipelines anymore.
Right.
So it is. So in this also, started to reflect it on the private banks as well. It is less and less that private banks are financing hydrocarbons now. So in a way, just the hydrocarbon companies, unless they are self-financed, like the countries, just in the UAE or GCC in the region, it is almost very difficult for them to finance there. So they have to shift their activities. So what I'm saying is that, so in a way, the hydrocarbon companies, they have to shift, eventually, because they don't have any other choice. They are not being financed. They won't be being supported by, neither private sector, no international financial institutions. So they eventually have to do that. And this will be a normal phase out. The only issue is that how quickly this can happen, or whether it's, yes, the climate threat is there and it is real. And there are commitments by 2030, which are taken, just here at the COP28, and eventually by 2050, to bring the gas emissions to zero net levels. So these are important commitments, and there's a reason that why all this COP is happening and bringing all together the globe. There's a reason for that, which is to save our planet, and the climate. So moving towards that direction, it is not all about being profitable anymore. It is all about how we can be more profitable for the business I'm talking about, but still make an impact on the climate. I think everybody needs to take this responsibility now.
We were talking about some of the bigger entities, global companies, trying to make that shift. But I think this also trickles down to a lot of the smaller entities. So let's talk about maybe small to medium-sized businesses. You have a lot of underdeveloped countries that still depend heavily on fossil fuels. Generators, let's call it, especially when it comes to generating electricity. And to a lot of them, because they're underdeveloped, being sustainable is probably not on top of the priority list. Sure. And so how do you actually get some of these people on board, or how do you support them? And I'm asking based on your business background, how do you actually get small to medium-sized entities in some of these underdeveloped countries to actually play their role? What sort of support is available to them, or what should they do? What sort of advice do you have for them?
It is true, and you know that when and other topics that were being still discussed and was discussed in the past at the COP level was that just the commitment, getting the commitment of the underdeveloped and developing countries, right? When you are a developed country, you mean that you have already paid your role, with the gas emissions globally, and they are a developed country, and they are asking the underdeveloped and developing countries also doing the same, while you have already, taken that share, and you are comfortable because, you're already okay, so it is not a fair game, right? So there should be a just and fair transition for underdeveloped countries or developing countries, as you say, and it is an expensive process. Not cheap as well. So you are right, they are using, just the gas, they are importing, they are using coal, generated plants for their electricity and so on. And here at that time, I think the IFIs and the institution like World Bank comes into place. And also developed countries through their own financing resources, they need to help these countries. I know that Department of Energy in the United States, they are doing things, just about Africa through their, DFC and other tools. And I think all the countries should come together, just to give more support, financial support, to underdeveloped countries to make this shift, because if they are left alone, it's not a fair game, and this is something that we are all together in. So,
right.
Yeah.
Now, listen, it's not a secret that while we're all here at COP28, you have a lot of people that pretty much come together on the same page, but then you have a lot of people that are on the opposite end of the spectrum who actually don't believe that we have such a crisis, and that it's not all doom and gloom. So I do get asked quite a lot of questions. And one interesting one that came up not long ago, and I want to pass this on to you. I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here. You mentioned earlier, to save our planet. And I have used those words in the past where somebody said, listen, the planet has been here for 4.5 billion years. Are we trying to save the planet? Because we don't think that there's an issue with saving the planet. Are we trying to save ourselves as opposed to saving the planet? What do you think it is?
Well, can you really, discriminate between saving planning and ourselves? Just so, I think first of all, I don't agree with this statement. I have a different point here. This is real. Global warming.
Right.
It is real, and I mean we are already, feeling this everywhere with the floods and people, and unfortunately, the people like underdeveloped world. Feels this more than ever, just in Asia, just other places, and Africa, drought, just how you will, feed. I mean, already, Africa is just suffering from, a lot of scarcity, just, and agriculture issues. So how you can, just support these people. The issue is that if you continue to neglect these problems on the globe, this will also lead, there's a potential, it can lead to other social and political issues as well.
Which I think to an extent we're already seeing a lot of that.
Yes, indeed.
How do we get everybody on the same page? Especially because, by the way, even though we're talking about people on two opposite ends of the spectrum, even when it comes to being here at COP28, we've seen quite a bit of conflict. So people who are here to support the same cause, you still have a lot of people that say, listen, we're approaching this point of no turning back, and some people say that we've already crossed the line. We need to make an immediate shift right now, right here, today, from fossil fuels to sustainable energy. And then you have people that say that's not possible. It's going to take a little bit more time. There has been a lot of debates about that. Where do you stand on that? Do you think we need to make the transition now? And is it possible to do something immediate, or is this something that's going to take time?
First of all, even though it is an immediate need for that, but it is not realistic to make this immediate shift. Okay, so we have to be realistic on that, because when you also, first of all, it is not possible. It is very difficult to bring all together, all sides together. And when you push things that quickly, this can lead to some other issues. And so there needs to be a transition period. There should be some time. And this is, inevitable, just so it cannot be something that you can do overnight, just so it will take time, but determination is important here, just so, absolutely. And, bringing the sides together.
Absolutely. Now, what do you expect to see? We already asked you at the beginning, what do you expect or hope to see by the end of COP28? But what are you hoping to see that would carry over from COP28 to 29, which we don't know where it's going to happen yet, or even in COP30, which apparently where it's going to happen, but you won't share with us. What would you like to see in the next couple of COPs that are based or connected to COP28 in terms of implementation?
I think, first of all, just so we are 2023, so, and with the next COP, there are some, decisions and taken right in this COP, like any other COP. So, but you can all, when the COP secretary, just announces them, so we will all able to read them in detail. First, all countries need to, take these steps one by one.
Sure.
Just so. I will come back again, just, for example, the report that we just launched, which I think will play an important role in that, at least for this part of the world, between Turkey and, GCC countries. This is, for example, for me, for example, I'd like to see what we have produced today to get real,
Absolutely.
just by the next COP. And it should be the same by the governments for each country, and definitely with the NGOs, governments, civil societies, just we should come together and produce more for the next COP, and
Absolutely.
it can be one of the sessions that I have joined, which was actually, this was really interesting and aligns with what you have just asked. We are coming together, discussing things, and there is some, not connection actually between
Right.
COP to other COP.
Right.
Maybe a more comprehensive mechenism should be established, a more comprehensive secretariat.
Sure.
Just so which can actually work, work on the results of certain COP and bring to the next COP. So this is I think vital, and this institution needs to be empowered as well. I think this is also important for the next
I
COP.
absolutely love that, and I think that if we were able to put down the absolute bare minimum, achievements that we can actually put together and gauge that from one COP to another, things where there are some things that everybody does agree on. Obviously, everybody that's here at COP28 is here for the same cause. They don't necessarily agree on how to move forward with things, but we've established that there is a level of agreement between people. So I think that's a great idea, to be able to establish what is it that everybody does agree on to make sure that it does take place in the next COP.
We have ARENA, here, and we have International Energy Agency in Paris. They are very active, both institutions, just to make all these goals real. But I think there is another supra organization that can actually, just working together with International Energy Agency, ARENA, or ORELO, and also governments.
Which is?
We should, maybe establish some.
Absolutely. No, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, we're here on this great platform. What are some of the final words or a message that you would like to share with Trending Echoes viewers and listeners?
First of all, Omar, thank you very much for hosting me, and I like to really thank the Trends Research and Advisory. We started a great partnership today. For this cause with Trends as Atlantic Council, and we hope that we will continue this cooperation also in the future. And I'm looking forward to become one of the players, one of the contributors to meet the COP goals also in the future. And thank you very much again.
Well, we're definitely very excited for what the future holds. We wish you all the best on your journey. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this was another episode of Trending Echoes. We were joined here by Defne Arslan. We look forward to having you once again, and we'll see you in the next episode.